everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today, coming to you from the Sports Interaction Studio, where we always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And in this one, folks, we have a very special guest. Maybe you know him from the Magic Tricks. Maybe you know him for the exceptional work that he does on a daily basis with your Toronto Blue Jays. Introducing for the first time on Blue Jays Today, coming to you from a Costco parking lot, by the way, Mr. Tyler Heineman. What's up, brother? How are we doing?
Hey, how we doing? Glad to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very happy to have you. I know that you're on full dad duties right now and everything, but coming to us from the Costco parking lot, that's the dedication right there, folks. So like down below, if we could get some W's in the comments right there for Tyler Heineman for taking the time to do this with us today, man. What's on the main grocery list at Costco today?
A lot of protein for me and my wife, mostly me, and then tons and tons and tons of fruit. If you know anyone that has kids, or if you have kids just run through fruit like crazy. So we got to buy fruit in bulk. So Costco's the right place to be.
You guys do the classic orange slices, put it in Tupperware, bring it to the ball games.
Not yet. They're still too young. I got a 3.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. So right now it's, any chance they can get to eat something, it's always a fruit for whatever reason. So you just got to buy berries in bulk, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and then you name it, cantaloupe, watermelon. They can't get enough of it.
I remember growing up, my mom always used to tell me this story about me. I don't know if this is true or not, because I was literally just a child, so I have no memory of this at all. But she made it very clear that at one point I was so into carrots that I ate so many bloody carrots that my nose started to turn orange. Now that I'm saying that out loud as an adult, it feels like that can't be real. But has there been any, I guess
staining of the faces?
Yeah. Is there any like one fruit or one vegetable that the kids are just addicted to right now?
Yeah, my oldest daughter, Emma, really loves raspberries. So she'll just eat raspberries for days and her whole face will turn super, super red just from all the juices all the way around her mouth. So loves raspberries, and the youngest is really starting to get into it, and for whatever reason seems to really love blackberries. So berry family.
I'm a big blackberry guy myself, so your daughter definitely has some good taste. Now, you get this a lot. I guarantee you get this question a lot. The Magic, all the time. I guarantee any media person coming to you, it's like, oh, let's have an icebreaker. Let's talk about the Magic because you're known for it. Do you have like a go-to Magic trick just ready to use at any point when someone's about to ask you it?
It kind of just depends on. The short answer is yes, and the long answer is no. It depends on whether someone gives me a deck of cards. So it's a borrowed deck of cards. I know a Magic show is going to happen, and I bring some props and/or Magic type gimmicks, and I would do something else. But yeah, so I have a set 3, 4, 5 that I can rattle off at any point. Whether I bring my own deck or someone gives me a borrowed deck of cards.
Do the lads ever request, I guess, some tricks to be shown to them whenever you're on the bus or the plane or anything like that? Because I know that you guys get your poker games going on, and clearly there's going to be cards in and around there. So I would imagine that if it was me anyways, I'd want to see the occasional Magic trick. Has that kind of become a thing that you're known for in the clubhouse?
Yeah, sometimes. Everyone knows I do it. And, on plane rides, there's always poker being played and other card games. So they might have me rattle off a few tricks before they're doing something or after if someone's lost too much money or they just want to break from playing cards. So I do a little bit there. In the clubhouse, not too much. Spring training will happen a little bit more where it's a little bit more lax, but once the season kind of gets underway, it's a lot more kind of just playing cards to pass the time. So like 13 or Montana or something like that. and just to kind of get your mind on autopilot and off of what's going to happen in 2-3 hours from now.
Right.
And then you lock back in. So not really. People just kind of want to zone out in their own way. Some people watch shows, other people listen to music, other people play cards. So just different ways to kind of get yourself mentally prepared for the game.
Well, speaking of locking in or being locked in preparation for this podcast, we actually stumbled upon an article here, and it claims that you were relatively locked in when it came to the partying. In fact, it's titled Blue Jays catcher Tyler Heineman partied a little too hard after the team's monumental win. Now, this was in reference to the AL East. You clinched the AL East, you win it, and right at the end of the season, and you guys, the boys, get after it, obviously. How was the partying? Because, we see some of the little clips of, like, John Schneider dropping F-bombs and popping champagne and all the boys, like soaking up the beers and everything. But after the cameras are off, like, how was the partying in and amongst the clubhouse, and who got after it the most?
Well, so I'll clear that up. I got in trouble. What they're talking about is I poured champagne into some fans' mouths that stayed after we had already celebrated and popped bottles. So when they say I got in trouble for partying too hard, it was more just I got in trouble for pouring champagne into the mouths of fans.
You got in trouble for being a nice guy. You got in trouble for sharing. What?
Awesome.
I don't know that. I don't know their age, and I get where they're coming from. I was just trying to share the wealth a little bit. Obviously, I know that if someone has a beard and looks older than me, they're most likely older than me, so we're good. And then, like, same thing with women. I know women that my mom's age, are definitely over 21. So, I even said in the clip that I said, hey, if you're under 18, close your mouth. So I tried to give myself some grace there. But yeah, I mean, when the cameras are off and everything, more of the same, kind of, honestly. I mean, a little bit more maybe rowdiness and just partying, but for the most part, like, I know when we clinched, it was the daytime. When we clinched the division, it was the daytime, so we were able to kind of go out to a club together, and Bo and Seabass and Scherzer kind of put together a wives and families group that we just basically rented out a club, and it was just us, and it was a lot of fun. But like when we clinched the championship series, it was an 8 p.m. game, so we clinched it. Oh man, midnight or a little bit
midnight, yeah.
And it was we partied there, went out for a little bit, but everyone was pretty much dead tired after a long travel going from Seattle back, and just the grueling nature of a game 7 and just the whole playoff grind. That it wasn't as much of a party as you would think, but we definitely had our fun and enjoyed each other's company.
Yeah, I mean, we were right there with you guys, and it was a long postseason. And I even watching you guys party, I think it was the third time after the ALCS when you won that one. I'm like, my goodness, like that's like a third big champagne party in October. Like, man, I'd be getting tired of partying, and in the midst of all this. So I mean, but obviously, great season, well deserved, of course. Now, speaking of the season and the postseason, have you, Tyler, had a chance to kind of reflect on what this year was, and give me your overall thoughts on the whole magical run you guys had?
It's kind of hard to kind of reflect on it for me. I've had this question asked to me by a lot of like family members even, and the best way I can kind of reflect on it is seeing other players post on their Instagrams or seeing the Blue Jays or fans posting reels about the magical run and just the season as a whole. And I did one myself and just kind of went through my favorite moments of the season. So being able to look at that is really cool and special. I think probably once I'm done playing, um, I'll be able to reflect on it a little bit better. But right now, it's just like looking at that stuff, really enjoying watching while, yeah, I remember exactly where I was when Springer hit that grand slam against the Yankees on Canada Day. I was on third base, but like, just you remember all the emotions that you kind of go through. And to be honest, if we would have won, I think it would been a little bit easier to reflect on it and enjoy it. But we all kind of have a taste in our mouth, a sour taste in our mouth, and kind of just want to get back there and finish the job. So how a lot of us are kind of taking it is we have one less month in the off season to work on stuff. So I guess that's a great thing, but also, it's just the kind of the athlete mentality of on to the next until you get the prize.
And and you said like a lot of you guys are feeling that way. Have you kept up with some of the gentlemen since the whole season ended? Like you've been talking with them, or they're all in the same boat here, like sour taste, very grateful, but still obviously work to be done moving forward. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I mean, I keep in contact with a lot of the guys. It's kind of your job as the backup catcher. You kind of just have to, have good relationships with both the position players and the pitchers. And I formed fantastic relationships with so many guys this year, and ones that live well beyond the ballpark. I knew them before, but really we've all formed a really special bond this year. And I think that the guys for sure that are coming back are thinking this way, and the guys that might be coming back are also thinking this way. And the guys that are uncertain are also thinking this way, right? Like we were so close to getting what we wanted and what we thought we should have gotten, and then to not achieve that is heartbreaking, and something that just doesn't sit right with anyone really. But
Yeah.
If you're there and you're part of the team, it just, with how everything kind of came together and how magical of a season it was, it just didn't seem like it should have ended that way. And I don't even know if we would feel it differently if we would have won. It just seemed like that we didn't want it to end, honestly. But obviously someone has to win, and credit to the Dodgers. They beat us. They did a great job, and we couldn't come through at the end, and that's baseball.
It is, and you guys played incredible, man. And I'll still, you don't have to agree with me, but I'll still say this forever. You guys definitely played a hell of a lot more complete baseball, in my opinion. It was awesome to see. Like, you guys gave it your all. You fought hard, and you were talking about as well the boys kind of like coming back and wanting that hunger to come back and get the job finished. One guy that surprised me how quickly he picked up the option was Shane Bieber, and I think that all took us by surprise. Like, wow, immediately a couple days after following the World Series, he picks up his option, which he could have, tested free agent. That's his right, but he came back. Like, have you talked to Bieber, and if you did, what kind of went into that decision? Because it was, again, it felt like he wanted to go and get the job done. What are your thoughts on him coming back next year?
Well, first of all, I mean, I'm extremely excited, and I texted him, and we had a long back and forth conversation because our wives really like each other, and we both have kids around the same age, so we were excited on that front. He's also a fantastic guy, in general, as well as a Cy Young pitcher. But to be honest, I don't know what goes into that decision making process. I haven't been in that type of position, but obviously a lot of thought goes into that, and talks with his agent, and he felt that this was, he wanted a one healthy season, or before hitting free agency again, or doing something special with the boys one more time. I really don't know, but I'm super glad that he's back, and I told him that, and I'm really excited to just to see what he does with a full year under his belt.
Yeah,
Agreed.
And again, this is pure speculation on my end, but I do think like clearly, the impression that was made from the clubhouse, on him, and then just all the guys, like it feels like that's playing a role into some of this. Just my opinion and speculation there. I'm sure he's got his own reasons, but yeah, like the vibe coming out from everybody that we've heard is like you guys just had an awesome time. Now, I know this is going to bring up some old wounds, and do your best to go through this with us. But I want to hear the opinion, or just I guess the overall, thoughts that you and some of the teammates were having during that 18-inning ball game. Because I'll tell you what, Tyler, we were live, we were streaming the game, we were in the Pint, the bar, literally right outside the Rogers Center. We were in the Pint, live streaming from there. And it was just pure disbelief that it was like, we're still going. Holy shit, this game is still on right now. They're closing the fucking bar and we're still streaming this game right now.
They're putting the stools up in the bar, the lights are coming on, the manager's like, guys, you gotta go. Like,
so from a fan standpoint, watching that thing, it was just genuinely like complete and utter disbelief. Was that same feeling felt amongst you guys? Like, we're going into the 16th inning right now, or were you just trying to, stay as locked in and as grounded as possible, like one pitch at a time?
I mean, you just try and stay as locked in. I mean, it's such a boring answer, but it really is just another inning, another baseball game. So, you're trying your best to get the job done. And we had opportunities. I had an opportunity in the top of the 18th, and guy made a good pitch, and I didn't even have a chance. I didn't foul it off, and and they had a couple opportunities where I had runner on third or second and third, and I think nobody out or one out, and we got a pop up and a strikeout. And so, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is what a job by Klein, by them, for them. What a job by Lauer for us. Lauer has been used in so many roles this year, and for him to pitch 5 2/3, I believe. I don't know exactly what it was, but he hadn't pitched even close to that long in probably 2 months, and do that against a potent Dodgers lineup. I mean, they still had everyone in. They didn't sub anyone except for Miguel Rojas to bunt for Kike Hernandez, and everyone else was in the lineup. So to go through that lineup multiple times, I know we walked Ohtani, but it's just credit to him. He did a fantastic job, and Klein did he did an unbelievable job. I think, it's tough. It's tough because Bo was out of the game. Kirky was out of the game.
Yeah.
Springer was out of the game because of his oblique. So, like we didn't have our guys that got us to that point in the game. So, the other guys, the glue guys that we had, we just didn't get it done offensively. And it's just frustrating because we felt like if we just outlasted them, I think Klein was their last guy. Yamamoto was getting ready, and Bieber was starting to warm up too, so, it's a frustrating thing, but what an opportunity. And I mean, if you're going to tell a younger version of me that I'm going to have a guy on second and third, and 2 outs in the top of the 18th inning of a World Series game and have a chance to get him in, I'm going to take that every single time, even if I hadn't had an at-bat in a month, Like, I'm just going to – that's an unbelievable experience and such a blessing that not many people get to experience. So, honestly, I'm just unfortunate. I'm just I didn't get the job done in that scenario. Just as I'm sure a lot of guys were pissed off they didn't get the job done in the 11th, 12th, 13th, It was one of those games that is going to be tough to kind of shake off, but also one that you remember and you're like, wow, that was a iconic game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of those games that I'm going to remember for my entire life, and I'm sure you as well, going into the second half of that game is certainly. And obviously, it was unfortunate, the result, but again, overall, the World Series had so many moments, iconic moments that are going to be remembered forever. And one of them I still think about to today is that Game 6 in the 9th inning with the ball getting lodged into the wall like that. Like, I mean, you had people going out there afterwards, actually trying to lodge it themselves, and they couldn't do it unless they literally lifted that wall up and put the ball underneath. What were the conversations in the clubhouse when that happened? Because I've watched baseball in Toronto my entire life, and I've never seen that happen.
And there was a massive, discourse online too of people saying, just how bullshit it was.
Right.
And I mean, it is again,
the rule, but
baseball is baseball, right? It is the rule. But yeah, curious to know, I guess, your thoughts on that, and then just kind of what the lads were saying about it. Personally, I think Addison Barger just got too much juice.
Just too powerful.
He's got too much juice behind him, right? He can't help it. But curious to hear what you guys were thinking about that after it happened.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but to be honest, I don't really know if that would have changed anything.
Thank you.
In that scenario, like if you really go back and watch it, I know it's a really difficult thing, and we can blame it on that. But when you go really down to micro level of that, saying that, I know that IKF got some flack for being close to the bag and having that play happen in Game 7. I mean, everything's going to be scrutinized. We understand that, but I just think we played the game the same way we played the entire year, and we just didn't come through in those situations that we had come through in the rest of the year. Ernie's been so clutch; he was unbelievable in the World Series. Andres hit the ball well there, and he was unbelievable in the ALCS against the Mariners. Varsho had bases loaded and nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he's been so clutch. And then we had so many chances to do what we needed to do, and we didn't come through, and that's unfortunate. But
that's the thing too. I mean, I've kind of been feeling the same way, and I don't really like it when I see people on Twitter or on social media, like, picking apart these plays and losing their minds over it. Because at the end of the day, like, there was a ton of different things like that we could cherry pick, and we could say, well, if this was different here, but you know what, like, if Yamamoto just didn't play like the greatest pitcher of all time, then that would have been fine too. So
yeah, like if, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Tyler, thank you so much for taking the time, man. I know that the wounds are still fresh and everybody is still healing right now. So I apologize if we had to, put you through some of that again. But you and the Toronto Blue Jays were thoroughly a pleasure to watch all throughout 2025, and we're just excited to honestly I want to blink and be in 2026 and see that hunger from you guys again, because it was special this year, man.
You and me both. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Folks, that was Tyler Heineman. You know him, obviously. But those are his thoughts on the World Series, on just about everything. So shout out to Tyler. Shout out to his wife. Shout out to his kids as well. I hope that Emma gets her raspberries. I really, really do. But folks, if you haven't already done so, hit that like, smash that subscribe button. For this month, come a YouTube membership. Thank you to all of our current YouTube members. You guys are amazing.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And as always, go Jays, go!